What did the Nazis use trumpets of Jericho for?
Was it lift music?
It wasn't.
Did they come up with some foul weapon that was to bring down the walls of cities and towns and things? Yes,
No, dear. I'm afraid...
I kind of thought that was going to happen, but...
Joshua in the Bible, of course, brought down supposedly the walls of the city of Jericho using trumpet, though apparently archaeologists say Jericho had no walls, but never mind. So it's a pretty easy job. Who knows? No, this is the Ju-87. Does that help?
Junkers.
Junkers, absolutely, known as a particular kind.
88.
There it is.
Stuka.
The Stuka.
Yes, the siren, the whistling siren when they dive in.
The whistling sound. That's right, they had a...
I used to go back as a kid. No, but then the Stukas start coming...
Yeah, do you want to hear them? It's that noise. That noise was a propeller driving a siren, just deliberately put on to scare the bejesus.
Screaming siren.
That's right. They called it the Trumpet of Jericho, yeah. And it destroyed more shipping and tanks than any other aircraft in the whole World War II, including kamikaze pilots. It was extremely successful, except when it was up against fighters and sent them over to the Battle of Britain to try and bomb airstrips. But the old Hurricanes and Spits were far too nimble, and they got 30 done in one day. Well, the Americans did the same by using Wagner in their helicopters. Do they still?
They still play loud, extremely loud rock music.
I've noticed that in their bedrooms.
They play it to themselves in the tank during the Iraq War.
I mean, you just want to go and say, I tell you what, lovely army, very nice vehicles and things. Do you have any grown-ups anywhere? People who get calm and don't shout and don't think it's clever to wear sunglasses if you're a general.
Of all the objections to warfare, it's the use of sunglasses.
They're trying to be like pattern. They think it's sexy and cool. If you think films, they're sexy and cool, you're just going to be a ghastly
that general who said to the troops he got it all wrong, is like he was trying to get in with the kids. And he said when the order's given to attack, it's hammer time. And they all looked at him. So he said it again, more serious. It's hammer time.
Well, he thought they'd put on, like, big balloony trousers.
Which city has the most Michelin stars?
Paris. Oh. Wait, that don't count. Because I said Paris before I pushed the button. So I get a free guess. Hey, I'm black.
Don't you try that.
I know for a fact it ain't London.
It's not
in France.
It's not in France.
New York, then?
Never.
Oh, New York, I'm afraid, has been gone.
Canada?
London, oh, that's...
Who said London?
Alan said London.
I didn't say London, you said
Oh, I said London, sorry.
Oh, Rick said London.
I didn't say anything.
He didn't say a word. And frankly, you should be sad.
Rick said London. You said London.
Might have been me.
No, I would never say London. Yeah. Well, no, what I did say, I said definitely not London. That's what I said. No, I did. I actually said, I did.
I will believe you. I will believe you.
Okay, let me tell you why I said definitely not London. Yeah. And I'm not just trying to offend London. I'm trying to offend the UK in general. But I feel like any country that can produce Marmite, they started later than everybody else in trying to make food taste good.
This from a country that has spray-on cheese. But you're right, it isn't Britain.
No, man, you can't cut me off. You got to give me a chance to insult you back.
Oh, right, sorry.
Marmite tastes like there's a naked man with hairy legs in your kitchen.
But it has
And every now and again, you take a plate with some toast and you walk under his butt and you go, okay, Fred. Do what you do best.
Very good. Now, the place that has the most Michelin stars...
Germany, Holland,
has Tokyo. Tokyo is the right answer.
Oh, yeah, man, I should have thought that.
It went straight to #1. It was only put in 2007, and it leapt to 2000 with 150 stars amongst its different restaurants, which is 2 more than London and Paris combined.
And I could also point out, too, if you put spray-on cheese on top of Marmite, you still got something that tastes all I want to say. In fact, you can take your favorite food, and if you put Marmite on it, it's
All right, moving on swiftly. Tokyo has the most Michelin stars, twice as many as Paris and 3 times as many as New York. What mustn't you feed hedgehogs?
Bread and milk.
Exactly, bread and milk is a bad idea. People do it. It gives them diarrhea and they dry out.
Really feed bread and milk to any mammal, including humans.
But there is a Radio 4 show that deals...
Come off it.
No,
Well, you
it's true.
shouldn't feed humans bread and milk.
No, not
Oh,
really.
What do you mean, not really? It's absolutely demonstrably fine.
No, it's not very good for you.
Well, it's fine.
Bread and butter
We've been
pudding.
drinking milk and eating bread for ages. Why is it suddenly a massive problem? Oh,
Yeah.
no, actually, we're supposed to live till we're 250. But no, we've been eating all this poisonous bread and milk all the time. We can barely limp past 98. It's ridiculous. Of course we're supposed to eat bread and milk. Not just bread and milk.
Oh, poor Alan.
No,
Don't
no.
bully him. Poor Alan.
It's not...
You shake hands and be friends.
Sorry,
now.
Alan.
When you find a bee and it's crawling on its last legs,
I always rescue them.
you give it honey. It's the only thing they eat. Makes sense when you think about it. No point just talking to it, give it honey.
They're very much a one-recipe species, aren't they?
I'm intrigued because I generally give it the sole of my shoe, but you know, not to be harsh, but you know, I think
Tread on a struggling, crawling bee, trying to get back to the hive.
What? As opposed to rehabilitate it?
I like
back
honey.
to
I have
life.
it on my porridge, you murderer.
Yeah, but
You depend on bees.
We need the bees.
okay. So in future, I should lure the bee back. And sorry, do I get a syringe of honey, just a tiny amount of honey? How do I feed
Spoon
this
of honey,
disabled
leave
bee?
it with the honey, don't tread on it. It should be
But-
criminal
but-
offence.
but-
You should be arrested. You should be locked up, you know where? In a hive.
But isn't it true, though, that a bee in his entire lifetime makes an absolutely tiny amount of honey overall? I mean, just a
But they're just
minute
lots
amount
of
of
them,
honey.
yeah.
They're
So you
team
don't
players.
have to give much rehabilitating honey to this one bee
So
before the nation, the world, is making a
becomes
net
diabetic.
loss. You know, it's useless. If you only get 1 teaspoon of honey from a whole bee's lifetime, and every time we have to get it back on its feet, it takes a teaspoon and a half, suddenly there's no honey at all.
This is more honey than this bee has seen in its life.
Yeah.
It's just gonna
You're insulting it, apart from
Maybe
anything
give
else.
it-
It's like showing a very tired mason a whole cathedral.
Maybe...
Well, let's say that you're in between Alan and Dara. So, like Alan, you want to help the bee give it honey, but like Dara, you also want to kill. What you can do is you get what I would term too much honey, and you see the bee and you pour molten. But hear me out.
All right, okay.
And then you watch him die a slow as he.
Yeah, I carry on with... Yes, I've now heard you out.
Yes.
And that's no better.
Well, no, that's
worse.
Yeah.
Much worse than what I did.
Torturing
You're
a
being
bee.
humane, are you?
Yeah, I am being
You're not. You're getting a kick out of it.
Let's forget that.
Drowning the bee ironically in honey. You want some honey?
You can't
How much
drown
honey
it.
do you want? Is this too much honey?
Oh, not so keen on the honey now, are you? After your lifetime of making honey.
Very good. Well, thank you for that interesting, fierce, and I think productive debate.
Name an endangered mammal that eats bamboo.
Panda.
Yeah. No, not so. Why, Bill? Any idea?
Well, they're not that endangered.
They're no longer
They're
endangered.
all over the place.
They're
Yeah.
vulnerable.
Can't go in any shopping centre in London without them taking up all the seats.
Yeah.
Elephants eat bamboo. Is there a right answer?
There is a right answer, but it isn't panda because they are no longer designated as endangered.
Tree sloth.
It's a golden bamboo
Eater.
lemur. A there, look, how cute is that?
A bird of prey. There's only the 2 of us left now. On the World Wildlife Fund. Stop eating the bamboo. That's what I can say. We're making the same mistakes again and again and again. We need to adapt to new habitats. Shut up, I'm eating all the bamboo before the bird comes back.
I I love bamboo. I bloody love it.
You can do so much with it. You can grill it. You can fry it.
You can make scaffolding out of it for building a Lima
It's
house.
a very flexible plant. Everyone knows that.
You can make a xylophone out of it, for
There's
God's
loads
sake.
of it. Why are we dying out?
We should be thriving.
We're not having enough sex.
It doesn't really look like bamboo, though. I mean, it looks like he's crimping the end of a joint. Yeah, just crimp it. Here we are. That's it. Right, OK, come on, everyone.
The Camberwell carrot.
Yeah. That's why they're dying out. They're just not doing anything.
Best job ever, I think. In 2014, China's giant panda protection and research centre started recruiting panda nannies. Oh, my.
Oh, my gosh.
You get paid the equivalent of £28,000 a year. You get free meals, travel accommodation, and you get to hug pandas all day.
What are any of us doing with our lives?
Some basic knowledge of pandas is required, as well as the ability to take pictures. The work has only one mission, spending 365 days with the pandas and sharing in their joys and sorrows.
No. I don't think they have any joy
Yeah,
or sorrow,
what
do
are-
they?
what
I
are
mean,
panda sorrows?
They're just pandas, aren't they?
I like the little one in the middle. I may be small, but I'll take any of you. I can take on any of you. These are tough ones.
They're about to drop that one. And ready, go!
It would just be the softest crash in the world. though.
This one, this is my favourite. Yeah, this one. That's the best. Show business.
Panda with jazz hands. You don't see that very often.
When was the First World War first named as such?
The outbreak, the assassination of Archduke Ferdinand.
You think they called it the First World War straight
Before
away?
it started. Yeah.
It would be an act of a pessimist to call it the First World War that early, surely. It's going to be some point
No.
after 1939, isn't it?
A realist, surely. There's got to be more of these.
Yeah.
I
At what
reckon,
point... Excuse me, I think what I said, people in the box, is after 1939, which may contain 1939, but does not mean it.
No, well...
OK. No. I think after 1939 and after the Second World War are not synonymous. Now, this is just giving you time to type after 1939. Why don't you just type, Mitchell is a cop?
In the Isle of Man, they had corporal punishment until 1976. And what type of wood did they administer it with?
Well, I know I'm going to get a buzz on this because it's normally called birching, but presumably it wasn't a birch.
It
doesn't matter because the
injustice is anyway.
So did it depend on how bad you'd been? So if you were really bad, it was holly, and they left the leaves on. But if you weren't so bad, it would be like sort of willow fronds, you know, or balsa wood for you. But
Hazel.
Hazel.
Yeah, the hazel. In Britain, birching, as it was known, was banned in 1948, but they didn't stop it until the 1970s in the Isle of Man, even though they tried to keep it by saying, all right, well, OK, what about if we let them keep their trousers on?
In America, there is still the tradition in some parts of birthday spanking. So,
Really?
yeah, where you go to school and then because it's your special day, and then there's a special treatment, the teacher takes the pedal out and then you get a few. And some people say, oh, we have to ban it, it's cruel. And then others say, no, we can't, it's a tradition.
Yes.
So they have to carry on trashing the kids. Yes.
Weird.
It's a bit like family Christmas. No one likes it still because it's a tradition. Everyone has to go through it.
we get the idea of bringing a tree in to the...
That's your idea?
That's a German idea, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. Did we invent Christmas?
Well, a lot of elements of it. Obviously.
Now, I say, come on. Either we invented it or we didn't.
Yeah. It's like that terrible joke, which I'm sure you must have been told, about the couple who adopt a German baby. you know it, yes, you must know it.
Is there only one joke that involves a German baby?
It doesn't speak.
It doesn't speak
Another
at
one where
all.
he doesn't speak.
He never speaks.
Yeah.
They have him
Until he's about 5.
Five.
Want
And they
me to
go,
say
they
the
take him to be
punchline?
tested.
Because they think, is he stupid? Is he deaf and dumb?
Everything functioning normally,
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
And then one day...
One day.
Go on,
One
Alan.
day.
They give him...
Yeah, then he goes...
He has some
"Matza."
apple strudel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he says...
"Matza, this Apfelstrudel is a bit tepid.
And they say, Wolfgang, you've never spoken before. After all these years, now you finally speak. Why haven't you spoken before? And he says...
Up until now, everything had been satisfactory.
It's a great joke. Very
Do you know,
pleasing.
this is,
like a relay joke.
this is the most fun a Danish person has had with a German since 1940.
Don't mention the war!
Well, there you are.
It's funny, the war. I mean, I have to chip in now. I mean, the war. The war is always World War II.
Yeah.
It's never any of the more current ones.
No, that's true.
They go with the war, and everyone in Britain takes personal credit for Britain winning it. Even people that weren't born at the time of World War II, they still take personal credit for Britain winning it. I've personally been a lot more annoyed by the Brits that are now in their 70s, and they bang on about how they helped win the war. I mean, let's quickly do the maths. If you're in your 70s now, how old were you at the end of World War II?
That's true.
Maybe 10 years old? Yeah. How did you help win the war? When you were just 10 years old, you did not help
By not
win the war.
eating bananas.
Yeah. You were nothing but a drain on British resources.
You've got to admire his guts, haven't you?
Effectively, every 70-year-old Brit effectively fought on the side of Nazi Germany. And lost the war every little bit as much as we did.
Would you believe that they put a man on the moon?
Who? Who? These guys?
NASA.
Oh, NASA. Yes, yeah, I think so.
You believe that?
Yeah,
I believe it.
Yes, you believe it. Good, that's all. That's sort of all at the end of the question, really. But you probably know that quite a lot of people don't believe it.
No.
Yeah, but, well, I sort of believe one thing.
Yeah.
Which is I kind of believe that they might have done some mocked-up fake photographs.
Really, why?
Because I was showing... Someone convinced me of it.
Yeah.
By talking about the angle of light and the shadows on the moon and all that stuff. But then I did an advert with Patrick Moore, and I said, so, Patrick, did they land on the moon? And he looked so annoyed with me.
Yeah.
Actually, he explained to me how he had helped map the moon for NASA, and he'd spent years on the project, and the landing site was partly his idea, and if I ever spoke to him again, he was going to be sick in my eyes.
They are rather tight. If you'd spoken to Buzz Aldrin, he might have punched you.
I was going to say...
Buzz Aldrin punched someone because he just got so tired of these conspiracy arses.
I think it was a television documentary about...
Well, there have been several, of course.
You know, look at this photo. This couldn't possibly have been taken on the moon. This is obviously taken in a studio.
You're getting me started now because one gets very sort of strange about this. But there are a lot of conspiracies. 6% of Americans believe that man didn't land on the moon, but 25% of Britons believe that they didn't. So that's a quarter of our nation are not convinced, apparently.
That's so depressing.
Isn't it?
It is.
The flag, it's one of the thing I read...
the flag is another thing, yes.
The flag, and
yeah,
you think,
but there it is.
Well, obviously they've starched the flag because they wanted to get a good photograph of it. They've stiffened the flag.
No, they haven't stiffened it. That's the point. The fact it's rumpled. There's no breath of wind out there, obviously, because you're in space, which is, as it were, a vacuum. But what there is movement. If you impart movement to something, it doesn't stop moving for a long time because there's nothing to... There's no resistance against it. So they unpacked it, unfurled it, put it down, and it moved back and forth. People said, breeze. Ha-ha. As if, A, they would be stupid enough to fake it and allow the tape that had the breeze in it to go out.
But also, if you went to the moon, the least you'd expect is a flag moved a bit strangely. You know what I mean? You expect him to make the soup dragon, and you think, OK, he's not there. The flag moves a bit strangely, I can go with that.
Yeah. Why isn't one of them holding up a camera? Because you can see him reflected, the one taking the picture's reflected in the visor of the one, and he's not holding up a camera like that, you see. But that's because they didn't, in the visors, put a camera up in front of their visor. They were mounted.
You couldn't really actually imagine them getting a camera out, clip,
like that.
wind it on.
I'd like to go to the moon.
You would like?
Oh,
Yeah, I'd like to do that.
Yeah. I mean, two of the other things, just in case people are saying, but you haven't mentioned the clincher. One was the idea that below the lunar module that landed, there was no crater or sense of disturbed dust. The fact is, the engine's cut off and it hovered down and it very, very quickly landed. And unlike in science fiction films, it doesn't send out spears of flame as it descends. That just didn't happen. So,
because it was designed by, you know, human brains and geniuses, and not a lot of people sitting tapping away at the internet who've got to go up to work in the morning.
Yeah,
who do you trust here?
We are in trouble as a species if people will refuse to believe in things that they couldn't actually do themselves.
So true. So true. And the other one was the footprints. They said, oh, look, there's too much moisture because look how clear they are. Only a sort of caked mud could do that, but actually you could do that with flour. The fact is, it's just very fine ground, and it makes... And there's, of course, it's a vacuum again. It coheres. And the other thing with the mirrors that Apollo 12 astronauts put on the moon, which are now used for bouncing lasers off, for detecting, for example, how far the moon is getting away from us. And you can make incredibly accurate measurements because of mirrors on the surface of the moon. And perhaps to me the clinching one is that America's enemy at the time in the space race was the Soviet Union. And not once did they make a suggestion that they thought America hadn't done it. They never said, no, we know this was hoax.
Yeah.
The fact is, for every ill-conceived argument that the moon landings were a hoax, there's a perfectly logical explanation to put our minds at rest.